हाय नमस्ते एंड वेलकम टू द कबड्डी को चैनल। जैसे मैंने पहले कहा है कि भी मैं आपके रूबरू किसी न किसी को लेके आता हूँ जो कबड्डी के बारे में जानते हैं, कबड्डी के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन देते हैं, कबड्डी में क्या हो रहा है, कबड्डी में क्या चल रहा है। तो आज हमारे साथ जो जुड़े हैं उनका नाम है एसटी आरसू, मलेशिया से हैं और वो वर्ल्ड कबड्डी के सेक्रेटरी जनरल हैं। और ये एसटी आरसू ये पहले जो एशियन कबड्डी फेडरेशन थी उसके सेक्रेटरी जनरल भी रह चुके हैं। सो आज उनकी ज़बानी पूछते हैं कि कबड्डी में क्या चल रहा है और रूल रेगुलेशन क्या है, ओलंपिक क्या है, एशियन क्या है। सो आज सब कुछ इनसे पूछते हैं। So today we have a guest with us, is Mr. S.T. Arasu from Malaysia, and is also the Secretary General of World Kabaddi, and he also was the Secretary General of Asian Kabaddi Federation. So Mr. Arasu, welcome to the Kabaddi Co channel, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, and hello, and thank you for giving me a chance to appear here.
No, thank you to coming. Okay, Mr. Arasu, I just want to ask you about the update Kabaddi in India, and also the you know that the High Court the order for the new committee to set up AKFI in India, but it's almost 2 years. So could you tell me, please, what was the order by the High Court?
Oh, okay. I think the High Court order was done in October 2018. The order came in because of various reasons. They found that the existing AKFI at that time were trying to amend the constitution of the federation to give advantage to certain people. There were two key amendments which were made to the Memorandum of Association of AKFI. One was actually to allow a non-member of the federation to stand for election as the president of the AKFI.
Okay.
And number two was to create a position of life president of AKFI.
Okay.
Why the High Court were not happy with these two amendments were basically because during that time, I think the Indian government, the sports ministry was enforcing the sports code, which says that office bearers, there's a limitation of their number of years they can be a key office bearer, and 70-year age limit for office bearers, especially the president, secretary, and so forth. So what happened was the president at that time, Mr. Gellot, did not qualify to stand again for the elections in AKFI, the position which has been holding on for decades. So what he did was, when they amended the constitution, they amended that a non-member can stand for elections, basically to bring in his wife, I think Srimati Mridul, to become the president of AKFI, so that there's a continuity, that the association does not slip out from his hand. And the second amendment was the life president, where the life president was given the right to represent India at international federation. This was done basically because Mr. Gellot was also the president of Asian Federation. He was also the president of International Kabaddi Federation. So without being a member of AKFI, he cannot hold position in this international organization. So to bypass this regulation, so they created the life president's appointment, so that he can be appointed as a life president, and he has the right to represent India in this federation. And the worst thing is, when they did this amendment, they also put it there that such an appointment cannot be revoked by any future executive decision. So it becomes a permanent position until he passes away or he decides to resign. So the High Court found both of these very irregular, and by their own statement, they said this was trying to hide and create something to benefit certain people. So what they decided was to suspend AKFI, ban both Mr. Gellot and his wife from holding any positions in AKFI, and also appointed an administrator to manage the affairs of the AKFI and to conduct and elect AGM. So the initial administrator who was appointed, I think it was Sri Sanat Kaul, he resigned after some time. So the High Court reappointed
Yeah.
another High Court judge, Mr. Garg, to take over the position.
Yeah.
So the whole duty in the judgment, it says that the administrator will, until further orders, take control of AKFI and administer its affairs.
Yeah.
It also says that he will stand in place of the president and shall exercise all powers of the president. Okay? So this basically means that he's an acting president, and he still has to take. He cannot do things on his own. So what happened was the High Court also said to conduct the AGM, two AGMs actually. In fact, they wanted the administrator to conduct the first AGM to be done within 3 months, basically to ensure that they come out with a proper model election guidelines.
Okay.
So once this guideline is done, so they elect a body to prepare this model guideline, which is in conformity with the Sports Code of India. So once that is done, the second AGM was supposed to be held within the next 3 months to actually elect the final members of the AKFI. So which means within 6 months, the administrator is supposed to not only clean up the electoral system, but also to make sure that there's a new body taken place. People who are actually following the national code are elected into office. So that was a close to I think more than 2 years, almost 2 years ago. And no election has been done till date. So we don't know what's the reason for the delay by thing, but by right, if you look at the act, this look ultra virus with why the High Court has actually given direction when you're actually exceeding your limit by another 18 months or so. Somebody actually brought up this issue with me and asked me also, is it because of money? Because the High Court also said the administrator is paid 1 lakh rupees per month in salary.
Administrator.
And yeah, the administrator is paid 1 lakh per month. So if he had finished the work in 6 months, the association only spends 6 lakhs to make sure everything is in order. Now the association already paid out 24 lakhs money and nothing has been done, when that money could have been actually spent for the development of the sport in India.
But also, it's not just the administrator. I think they also paying for the office rent, and they also paying the Mr. called DC, who is the secretary or assistant working for the Mr. Administrator. So I think
yes, okay,
more. I think
yes,
1.5 lakh. I think.
Okay, what has happened is the administrator was allowed to actually do things, make sure everything is smoothly running. So what he did was the second administrator, what he did was he has actually appointed someone from the previous committee who's also embroiled in the whole issue of the amendment of the constitution and all things as the secretary of the administrator, where if you actually look at it, natural justice is not being implemented in this case. So they pay for also the assistant and all things. They also pay for anything else. So which means that their travel, their lodging, their food, everything is paid for.
Papa Arsu, how the judge, the retired judge, right, can employ such a person who was with this game?
That's why I say that's where the natural justice does not seem to be in position. So as an administrator who's actually there to clean up, he should actually brought in someone from outside, completely new, to help him, because this is not about administrating the association. This was about cleaning up the association.
Yes.
So it would have been better to bring someone who's neutral from outside and conducted the meeting within the 6 months. But here it has gone for 24 months. I cannot be actually talking about Indian law and what happens in India. But as an outsider, even for me, I feel this is the wrong way to move forward if they want to clean up AKFI.
Okay. Yeah, I think your point is very valid. If the money we spending on the outstanding the caretaker, administrator, office, and staff. That money could be used for the development of kabaddi. Okay, and then it will be make a lot of difference in the kabaddi.
Yes, yes, most definitely. Because every cent which is collected by any sports association should be spent correctly and for the benefit of the sports. But here you are spending lakhs just to clean up the association when actual development and promotion of the game is lacking.
Well, when I know when you was the Secretary General for Asian Kabaddi Federation, so why did you left it? Is that the same system was there, or is it better system?
I think there was no difference in the system. I think even when I was a secretary in 2002, I actually won the election during the Busan Asian Games. Uh, I found that everything was being done on a dictatorial manner, which means one man wants to make a decision, and it's not actually one man. It's actually there's a team of people.
Mm.
He had the president had his own advisors from India,
Mm.
so they want to make control to keep the sports very India centric. They
Okay.
really did not want to push the game outside of India because winning the Asian Games is ultimate for Kabaddi currently in India. So if a lot of other countries start developing very fast, they will be a threat to Indian supremacy. I think finally when Iran beat India, I think that's only the first stage. If the current trend continues where the game is not developed outside of India properly, there will be more countries once they catch up with take up the sports very seriously. It's not only Iran and Korea that India has to be worried about. There will be a lot of other countries which will be actually on par or sometimes even better.
So that means Arsu, I understand. Yes, India winning the gold. Yes, we are Indian. Yes, we proud. But if the countries and the players they're playing from the like a childhood, okay, other country they don't have a source to play. They only play when is a big competition come, international competition come. So how you can beat them? So that means you don't want to the other country to develop and become sort of a Indian level to beat the India. Only I think
Yes.
after India, there's only Iran who have a proper setup, national
Yes.
wise setup, and this is the reason they beat India first time. If other country in Asia have a same sort of a sport from financially or backup from the Asian Federation, so I think then there will be competition. So India, I think India is always win because India is a good. I don't know. India is a good because other people never get a chance to train like a way they train.
Yes, it's not only about training, it's also about whether they get the exposure. You
Oh,
see, if you look at Sri Lanka, uh, after 2002, they did not play in any Asian Games until the last Asian Games in Jakarta.
oh,
Basically, because Indian,
why?
yes, because Sri Lanka Olympic Committee felt that the team is not good enough to win a medal, so they stopped them from playing. But Sri Lanka is a much better team than a lot of people give it credit. So it's the same way. It's because uh, how the Asian game is being done is there has not been any development at the Asian Games level
Hmm.
from the time we were included in 1990. So what has happened is when in 1990 we had about 7 countries taking part.
Hmm.
Now we have 10 to 11 countries taking part in the Asian Games. And even at prior to the Jakarta Games, what happened was there was not enough teams. There were only 7 teams who wanted to take part in Asian Games,
Okay.
and India themselves paid for Nepal to participate in the Asian Games to make up the 8 teams. So this is not development at all.
Oh,
When we have 44 countries in Asia, we can't even get half of them to actually play kabaddi at an international games at the level of Asian Games. Means we have done nothing in terms of developing the sports from 1990 and now it's 2020.
but in India, what do they think since the pro kabaddi been launched, commercialized the kabaddi, and they think yes, they did it very well. Yes, I do agree. Yes, kabaddi come on a star sports. Yes, it's a big thing. Again, yes. because that's a commercial channel. They need a commercial, and then yes, they spend their money. I think they spend their time, and the kabaddi is lifted up. Is that the way you think the kabaddi development, or?
Okay, if you look at the last report on the commercial value of the Pro Kabaddi League,
Mhm.
they found that 70% of the people who actually watch Pro Kabaddi League are from India,
Okay.
and the majority of the 30% balance come from South Asian countries. Basically, either it's Bangladesh or Sri Lanka or maybe Pakistan if they want to watch and all the things. So, which means the game has not gone out of South Asia. If you actually tell them, yes, they make a lot of money because all the sponsors, mainly the sponsors, are looking at
Mm.
branding themselves in India.
Okay.
Nothing is done. The sponsors, when the tournament is held outside of India, it's so difficult to get sponsors come in there because they feel that it's not their market at all. So
Okay.
what will happen eventually is uh, the game will become totally. Even now, everybody when we say kabaddi to a lot of people, they say, "Oh, that's an Indian sport." But when we say taekwondo, nobody says it's a Korean sports anymore. They say it's a martial art because when Korea started with taekwondo, they wanted to develop.
Mhm.
Their target was actually to push the game forward in other countries so that they can be as good as the Koreans. But
Yeah.
here in Kabaddi is completely different. We are still looking at how to make it big in India, big in India. Pro Kabaddi League can go for the next 10 years, but it's not going to help development of other countries because players who come from other countries into the Pro Kabaddi League also, most of the time, most of the players are there just for window dressing, just to show that I got player from Europe, I got player from Africa and all these things. But they get minimal time of playing. They are not. Most of them are not even key players in the teams, except I think with the exception of the Iranian players and one or two Korean players. Most of the other players do not get as much chance to actually play even in the PKL because again it's a marketing value.
They
The
sit.
branding is for India. They prefer to see Indian players play.
Yeah, most they're sitting on the bench because everybody want to win.
Yes. So how is it going to develop the sports or promote the sports outside? When you bring in a foreign player just to show that it is an international event, but end of the day they're not doing anything. So for the game to grow, as I said earlier, we need to actually look beyond India. But end of the day, India is one country. So you cannot have a World Cup with India alone. Neither can you have any tournaments with India alone. So with one hand you cannot clap. You need two hands. But if you have 20 people clapping, it becomes a big celebration. So what we need to do is actually allow other countries to start moving up. So to do that, a lot of basic things are not done yet. Uh, there's never been a coaching accreditation system done before. No proper technical accreditation system. So in India, coaches are trained by SAI. That's the accreditation system. If not, if you're a former player, you become a coach. But there's nothing like what FIFA does or hockey does. When you want to become a coach, you have to go through the course, which is actually done by the federation themselves.
But
And
also,
if you look at technique, yes,
you mentioned just a Sai. Yes, I come to know the Sai coaches, right? The main coaches at present and the like a legend. They background from Kho. They wasn't a kabaddi player. They was a Kho player because in Sai, kabaddi and Kho was together. So they done the course in Sai, technical official coaches um, by the Sai is Kho through Kho. There wasn't actually player or there was a playing main kabaddi sports. Do you know that?
no, no. I think they are doing kabaddi as a main thing now. I think even when I've been to the Sai Center in Bangalore many years back, they actually had the full team of kabaddi teams there. But it's a minimal number of players who actually get selected to become coaches there. So my main concern is that only helps India because it's done by Sai. It's basically without Indian coaches and all these things. Where is the program outside of India? What happens is, as I said, when Taekwondo, they wanted to promote the sports outside of Korea. Korea, the association themselves there, they spend their own money, they found the thing, they send coaches all over the world, different coaches to different parts of the world. In Kabaddi, it hardly happens, and if at all coaches go out, it's the same person I've seen for the last 20 years, the same one or two people are being sent everywhere, which means it shows as though there's nobody else is doing those programs and only one or two people can do it. So this does not help to develop. Development of coaching is basically actually to ensure that every country are self-sustainable. So which means when you do a program there, once a coaching course and a thing, the following couple of years, that particular country must be capable of running their own programs to train new coaches. It has not happened throughout the world. Very few countries actually have that in place. So these are things that we need to change if we are looking at Kabaddi beyond what's happening now.
So there's a lot of work to do actually. So could you tell me one thing? If the country want to participate into the Asian game, when is Asian game occurs, because most people fear if they are not listen to the AKFI or Mr. Galoji, they be not going to participate in an Asian game. So can the Asian game country can participate on their own?
You see, participation at Asian Games is not by Kabaddi federations.
Okay.
People always forget that no sports actually participates in Asian Games representing their own association. So I mean, like badminton players do not represent Asian Games from Badminton Association of India. Or if we talk about football players from India or even from Malaysia, they do not represent at Asian Games representing the federation. And they're representing through the Olympic Council of respective countries.
Okay.
So which means basically the Asian Federation assists the Olympic Council of Asia on technical aspects, which means they provide the technical officials. They make sure that the technical aspects are all correct. So that's how the participation goes in. The Asian Federation cannot arbitrarily stop anybody from taking part in Asian Games, because the entry goes to the Olympic Council and it does not go to the federation.
Okay.
So the Olympic Council, which decides the organizers. So assuming the last games was in Jakarta, the entry goes to the Jakarta Organizing Committee. They will work with the Olympic Council of Asia to decide on the who's participating. Okay. Even if there is no federation, the Olympic Council can still run the tournament. I give an example, two examples. Mm. One is how participation, if you look at World Athletics, a lot of the Russian players, I mean, the Russian Federation is suspended because of doping. But those athletes who are not suspended, who have not been embroiled in doping issues, are being allowed to participate in Olympics as members of the International Olympic Neutral Body flag. So they can still participate. Yeah. And the other thing which currently is happening is the weightlifting federation has been suspended. Weightlifting has been suspended because of various doping. This was the International Weightlifting Federation. So what has happened now is, but weightlifting is still part of the Olympics. So what has happened is IOC is actually running the whole thing by themselves, which means they pick the. I'm sorry, it's not weightlifting, it's boxing. Sorry. So they are actually picking the technical officials. The entire technical officials who officiated in the last Olympics have been banned because there was a lot of corruption. Yeah. So now IOC is picking the technical officials. IOC has set up its own committee and they're running the thing. And countries are allowed to participate directly. Yeah. So the fear that people give that without what the Chinese say, kowtowing to the federation that you cannot participate is purely wrong. So even in India, the Indian Olympic Association can still select the players if AKFI is suspended. At this point in time, AKFI is suspended. So if the AKFI is suspended until the next Asian Games, and if IOA still wants to send a team, they can still send. There's no rule which said we can stop them from taking that step.
Okay, the next question is because the many of them that is misguiding and they're asking question. IKF or the other federations, they are becoming a member, they are a member of the Olympic. So is there any place for Kabaddi in Olympic, or anybody is a member yet from the anybody?
Okay, let me just clarify this. At this point in time, no Kabaddi association, international federations are recognized by the Olympic Council, International Olympic Council.
Okay.
Okay. If you actually look at currently, there are, I think I can name at least 5 organizations which claim they are the international federation. IKF, World Kabaddi, which I'm the Secretary General.
Mm.
There is a World Amateur Kabaddi Federation.
Okay.
There is an International Amateur Kabaddi Federation. There is a World Kabaddi Federation. 4 out of these 5 organizations are registered in India.
Okay.
Okay. Some are registered as I know at least one of it is registered as a organization. IKF is registered as a company, profit-making company with 4 directors. Okay, so none of these organizations are actually recognized by International Olympic Committee, because International Olympic Committee has its own guidelines who can actually apply to become a member. And before becoming member of IOC, you need to be members of. There are a couple of other organizations that you need to be member. One of those is the Global Association of International Sports Federation.
Mm-hmm.
Only when you become a member of that, you can actually look into being recognized as a sports in Olympics.
Yeah.
I'm not telling that you are a recognized association. You're only the sports is recognized.
Okay.
Then you have to apply for your membership. So this process is not an overnight process. Even to become a member of GAISF, it's going to take at least the next 5 to 6 years for anybody to actually go into it, because there are a lot of criteria to meet. So even at our level, World Kabaddi, we are actually moving the right direction. We are trying to work out all those criteria. But the thing is, at this point in time, if anybody claims that they are recognized by Olympic, they're just lying through their teeth. If anybody claims they are members of Olympic Council of Asia, they're also lying, because I can tell you, while IOC's membership is by national federations, one of the membership is by national national Olympic councils, as well as International Sports Federation. IOC's regulation is there.
Yeah.
In Olympic Council of Asia, the only members in Olympic Council of Asia are Olympic Council of each countries, which means India is represented by Indian Olympic Association. If Sri Lanka is represented by Sri Lanka Kabaddi Federation. If it's Iran Kabaddi Olympics, or Sri Lanka Kabaddi, not Kabaddi, sorry, Iran Olympic Council, or Sri Lanka Olympic Council, or Indian Olympic Association. These are the members.
Yep.
If AKFI claim they are members of IOA,
Yep.
means they have a voting right. If they have a voting right, means they can also become, their members can also become presidents of Olympic Council of Asia. But you'll notice that Olympic Council of Asia's office bearers are always members of their membership, which is Olympic Council of the respective country. So Kabaddi is not recognized at Asian level. They are not recognized at international level. So until that happens, we'll have a lot of problems.
So I just recently see the letter from Iranian Kabaddi Federation, and they urge the national federations and Mr. In India as well to contact your respected Olympic association or federation in your country, so Kabaddi can be played on a 2022 in a youth game. So it can be done. I don't think this
No,
can happen.
the ruling is the same. You cannot get into that without being a member of IOC, because there are a lot of other sports which are waiting in queue. Let me tell you, squash. Squash is better organized. They have been doing international tournaments for many years. They've applied for so many times to get into the Olympics. They have not got it yet. You have wushu, which also have been there for a long time. Their federation have been registered. They are recognized by IOC. They are not in the Olympics. So there are at least 15 to 20 sports in IOC, recognized sports and members of IOC, still have not got a chance to get into Olympics or even to Youth Olympics.
Oh, yes.
So there's no shortcut to getting into these tournaments. without becoming a member of IOC.
That's why I say it's a Olympic is like a high level, is the end, right? But before that, there is a Commonwealth. So even the
Yes,
Kabaddi is not being played in Commonwealth. So how we dream into the Olympic?
yes, exactly. You see, India hosted the Commonwealth Games,
Yep.
and they could have easily included Kabaddi as maybe not even a medal sport, maybe as a demonstration sport or something like that. This was never done when India did it. So to say why they didn't do it is basically because they were also not recognized in Commonwealth. So there's a lot of work which needs to be done. I mean, I noticed even politicians and sports ministries and people in the federation. Every 4 years they come out and say we are fighting to get into Olympics. We will get into Olympics within the next few years. But all these are just political statements.
Okay, so tell
If
me
we
about
start,
it.
if we start our work now, if we start
Okay,
our work now,
okay.
the earliest, if we are lucky, we will get into the Olympics. Earliest, if we are lucky and we do our work properly, will be 2032.
Oh,
Anything
yes.
prior to that, people are just lying.
So I don't think in this our life. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yes, but the thing is, it may not happen in our life. We are all past 50 and reaching 60s and all things. But what we need to do now is actually to make sure that we do the base correctly,
Yeah,
which
that's
means
it.
we come out with a proper system. We put in the operating procedures. We create the base. And we tell people these are things you need to do the next 10 years or until the thing. Because the advantage I think maybe Kabaddi will have is India is one of the countries which is bidding for 2032 Olympics.
Okay.
So even before that, as long as we become a member of IOC before 2032, not even in 2032, because that decision probably will be made in 2028, at least 4 years to 6 years before that. Okay, like if you look at 2024 Olympic Games in France, the games have already been decided. The main games have been decided. Only the provisional games, 5 games, will be confirmed by end of this year. So
Okay.
within 4 years ahead, people already know whether the sports are going in or not. So we have now is 2020. Between 2020 to 2028, federations must move forward to ensure that we put everything in order. But the first step to actually make sure that we get this in order is whichever 5 or 6 or 7 world international federations that
Mm.
we have to sit down and work together. Either we merge or those are not doing anything, just cancel your organization, come and work with one organization which you feel is going to move it forward. So end of the day, like what we said, World Cup Day, our theme for this year was unity in diversity. So basically what we wanted to tell people also is that we don't need so many federations. We just need everybody to sit in one table, get
Yep.
together, and go with one aim. Yes, if Olympic is the aim, then we have the next 8 years to start doing for it.
So if we don't have a basic thing like, suppose you mention many international kabaddi federations, right? But if you have a look these days, is a website. So website is the main common because Olympics is not going to each country or just the World Kabaddi or IKFI to investigate. They look your website. If you didn't have a website yet, how you can dream to go to the Olympic?
Okay, for me, even the website is actually a position where you actually market yourself. It's a communication. In modern sports, I think over and above the website, we also need social media engagement, which means whether it's our Twitter account or Instagram
Yeah,
or Facebook or even WhatsApp or even the current craze TikTok, all this must be used to promote the game.
yeah,
But all this actually has to be what you call archived. That's where the website comes in, where we have an archive, what we have been doing over the years, what's happening, and all these things. Uh, Here in Kabaddi, our problem is very unique, not so unique. It's a bit, as I said earlier, is difficult because some parties are very professional,
mm,
but a lot of members are not at this point of time.
mm,
Because you'll notice, like even some members don't even read their emails for days. So if you want to, if anybody wants to develop the game and look forward, we get a lot of emails from our members also. What are we going to do for to get into Olympics? When you get into? And I always tell them the first step is for you to make yourself professional, which means the national associations must be much better. Which means they must conduct their own tournaments, they must run their own technical courses, they must run their own coaching courses, they must have their own website, they must have their own Facebook. If the national association themselves are not doing anything, any international body cannot do anything for them, because the strength of the world body is the strength of the combine of the membership.
Membership.
If the
So
membership is weak,
member have to move.
if the membership is weak, the international body will also be weak.
Yeah, because you are becoming a national governing body on the world national governing body. So if you don't have the national members perfectly and professionally, and I don't think they look into you to go your professional body.
Yes.
Okay, that's a thank you very much for your vast knowledge, honestly, and I hope people can now understand what is the Olympic and the Asian and then the local federation and where we stand now. And I think what I figure out, we all have to sit down on the table and run in as a one federation, and forget our ego and whatever is the differences. So one body, as you say, one spirit, and then we can play one kabaddi. Okay, last, could you tell me the about World Kabaddi and what is the forthcoming event? Because I know the Corona what is situations, but now is getting ease. Is there any forthcoming events in your mind or you plan?
Yes, I think we actually we are supposed to have done quite a number of things this year itself. But as we said, the pandemic has actually come and spoiled the entire issues and all things. What we are looking at this point of time is actually first thing is to get the regional bodies more active. So to that extent, I think over the last 2 years since the World Kabaddi was formed, we have already conducted the European Championships. We have already conducted the Africa Cup. And I think both Europe and Africa have already confirmed that they also want to do the same tournaments.
Okay.
Africa actually wanted to do this year, but
Okay.
we'll say let's see how the COVID goes in. If it's
Good news. Well,
everything is clear in Africa, they can do it end of this year. If not, they will push it for next year. I think European Kabaddi Championship will also take part next year, and we have another major tournament in Scotland. Those dates will be confirmed once we have confirmed all the details. We will inform everybody, but there's definitely going to be a major tournament in Scotland next year. They were the hosts of the European Championship last year, and they wanted to do something much bigger this year. So we are actually pushing that forward. But that's only competition. As I said, competition is only a certain aspect of this. So what we are also looking at also now to actually engage membership directly. We already started to do our own manual for Kabaddi. I think we have something we are working with some senior coaches to come out with a full manual. We hope that will be ready by end of this year. And maybe by next year, we should be actually going full swing, not only in terms of competition, but also to actually ensure that every country are self-equipped in terms of having their own coaches, having their own technical officials, and being self-sufficient, and also, most importantly, to start their own local tournaments. Because we do not want members who are just there with certificates or by name. We want members who are actually very proactive. So it's better to have. I think one of the vice presidents raised up in our last expo meeting. Better to have 20 members who are very keen to actually do the sports and develop the sports instead of having 50 countries and doing nothing. So World Kabaddi, as far as we are concerned, I think we have moved in the right direction over the last 2 years. We are very new association, but some of us are senior. I mean, we have been in the sport for many long years. Like Mr. Ashok, we have been here for 20, 30, 40 years in Kabaddi, from playing to official in India and in England. So we have a lot of people that we are actually engaging. Senior people, even from India, a lot of senior people have actually contacted us in recent months and all, wanting to join hands with us to push forward the game. So as far as World Kabaddi next year, I think 2021, if COVID is completely gone by this year, 2021 will be a landmark year for World Kabaddi, where we will actually show everybody that the future of the sports is very much bigger than a lot of people think.
Thank you very much. And the last message, what your message to the Kabaddi lover or all the Kabaddi supporter, what is your message to them?
Oh, that's a difficult thing to say. Okay, for me it's simple. Playing and managing associations, Kabaddi is two different things. You can be the best player, but you may not be able to manage it well. So if you are a best player, then you should actually, even if you are not a good manager, you should actually come and help the association to move forward, whichever country you are.
Yeah.
Because if you want to move the Kabaddi forward, you need people at every level. The players, the administrators, the coaches, the technical officials, and all that. And the game is not going to move forward if you don't have the passion for the game. A lot of people coming into the game just to earn a medal or earn prize money or to get a position. I think if you think that these are the things that you want, then don't come into the sports. I think the first criteria for anybody, if you think that you want to help Kabaddi to move forward, to position this game, which is 5,000 years old, a traditional Indian sports, to become an Olympic sport and even go beyond Olympics also, then the first criteria I think everybody must have is the passion to work for Kabaddi. Don't look at what you're getting out of it. Just come out and let's do it together.
Yeah, that's the true. I think that's the true, and hope everybody listen and follow these your guideline. And I think one day there will be one spirit, one vision, one Kabaddi.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time, Mr. Arsu, and thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night. Yes, ये थे Mr. S.T. Arasu from Malaysia and Secretary General of World Kabaddi. तो इन्होंने क्या कहा है, मैं हिंदी में बोलने लगा हूँ ताकि जो नहीं इंग्लिश समझ सकते तो वो ये सुन सकते हैं सिर्फ मेन क्वेश्चन. उनसे मैंने पूछा था इंडिया में क्या चल रहा है, तो उन्होंने बोला कि इंडिया में हाई कोर्ट ने ऑर्डर किए थे कि 3 महीने एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर जो है वो सब कुछ कबड्डी के बारे में जानेगा और एक जो काउंसिल है मेंबर्स उनको सेटअप करेगा, क्योंकि उनकी अपनी जो पावर नहीं है कि वो सब कुछ कर सके, जहाँ वो कोई ऑर्डर कर सके, जहाँ कोई गेम खिला सके. तो अगले 3 महीने में उन्होंने बोला है कि उसका कार्य ये था कि वो जो AKFI की नवी इलेक्शन है वो हो. सेकेंडली उन्होंने कहा है कि एशियन कबड्डी फेडरेशन का जो भी प्रेसिडेंट बनना चाहता है, जहाँ प्रेसिडेंट बना है, वो खुद उस कंट्री यहाँ से वो बिलोंग करते हैं, वहाँ से वो खुद मेंबर होने चाहिए उस गेम से. अगर कोई भी आदमी अपनी कंट्री में किसी अपनी जो कबड्डी की जो बॉडी है, एसोसिएशन है, फेडरेशन है, अगर उसका मेंबर नहीं है तो वो एशियन कबड्डी फेडरेशन का प्रेसिडेंट, सेक्रेटरी जनरल कुछ नहीं बन सकता. ये उन्होंने कहा. तीसरा उन्होंने कहा है कि जो एशियन गेम्स है, ये नहीं है कि भी एशियन गेम को जो एशियन बॉडी है जहाँ AKFI है वो जो उनके साथ रहेंगे वही जा सकेंगे और जिनको वो बुलाएंगे वो जाएंगे. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. आप अपनी कंट्री में आप नेशनल टीम रन करते हैं, आपकी फेडरेशन है, तो आप अपनी कंट्री की ओलंपिक से आप डायरेक्टली एशियन गेम में पार्टिसिपेट कर सकते हैं. आपको किसी की परमिशन की जरूरत नहीं है. तीसरा, जो ओलंपिक है, ओलंपिक में आज तक कोई भी कबड्डी की बॉडी की मेंबरशिप नहीं है, और अगर कोई भी उसकी मेंबरशिप सोचते हैं लेने के लिए तो कम से कम अभी 5 साल लगेंगे, क्योंकि जो उनका क्राइटेरिया है बहुत बड़ा है. वो मेंबर बनने के लिए, खेलने के लिए अगले 20 साल लगेंगे. सो अगर कोई आपको कहता है कि हम ओलंपिक में चले जाएंगे, हमारी ओलंपिक से मीटिंग हो गई है, बात हो गई है, तो ये सब फजूल की बातें हैं. आप खुद जाके ओलंपिक की वेबसाइट पे जाके पढ़ सकते हो. ऐसा ही एशियन की वेबसाइट पे आप जाके पढ़ सकते हो. ओलंपिक में जाना तभी मुमकिन है जब जितनी भी कंट्रियां हैं वर्ल्ड में जहां कबड्डी होती है, वो खुद को अपना नेशनल गवर्निंग स्टेटस बनाएं, और फिर ये जितने ज्यादा मेंबर्स हो सकेंगे 40+, तब ये जाके एप्लीकेशन सबमिट हो सकती है, पहले नहीं हो सकती। अभी तो किसी की एप्लीकेशन ही नहीं गई। पंजवीं बात उन्होंने कही है कि ये इजी है, और जो आसान रूट है, अगर जितने भी हम लोग अलग अलग होके बैठे हैं, सब एक मंच पे इकट्ठे हो जाएं, एक फेडरेशन हो, एक विजन हो, एक ही कबड्डी हो, फिर ये बहुत आसान है। नहीं तो जब ओलंपिक में एक वर्ल्ड बॉडी अपनी एप्लीकेशन डालेगी, दूसरी डालेगी, मैं हम वर्ल्ड बॉडी हैं, हम इंटरनेशनल फेडरेशन हैं, तो वो लोग लड़ाई नहीं चाहते, वो सबको इनकार करेंगे। चौथा जो कबड्डी का अभी सब सोचते हैं प्रो कबड्डी हो, तो अभी मुश्किल होना है, क्योंकि एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर के हाथ में नहीं है वो इसके ऑर्डर करें। तो हाल ही में पता चला है कि प्रो कबड्डी जो है उसका श्रीलंका में करने के लिए छानबीन हो रही है कि श्रीलंका में की जाए। अगर श्रीलंका में भी करने की बात होती है तो ये अगस्त से पहले नहीं हो सकता, क्योंकि वहां फ्लाइट्स अभी बंद है। तो आज जो आपने सुना है आरसू की जवानी, ये जो कोर्ट ने कहा है और जो ओलंपिक और एशियन ओलंपिक के संविधान है उसकी पुष्टि करी है। अगर आपको कोई कंफ्यूजन हो तो आप खुद जाके उनकी वेबसाइट पे ये पढ़ सकते हो। तो आज के लिए इतना ही काफ़ी। देखते रहिए कबड्डी को, ये आपका चैनल है। हमारी आशा ये है कि हम आपको अलग अलग कुछ ना कुछ जो इंफॉर्मेशन हम दे सकते हैं वो दिया करें। अगर आपको इसमें कुछ गलत लगता है तो आप इसके ऊपर टिप्पणी टिप्पणी कर सकते हो, आप अपने सवाल भेज सकते हो। हमारा ये मकसद नहीं है किसी को नीचा दिखाना या किसी को ऊंचा दिखाना, सिर्फ ये है कबड्डी के बारे में बात करना, कबड्डी की इंफॉर्मेशन आपको मिले। अगर नहीं सही तो आप हमें बता सकते हो। तो आज के लिए इतना ही काफ़ी। देखते रहिए कबड्डी को। थैंक यू। बाय बाय।